Hello, women and girls of the world. I am Jesus Christ. This is my second coming. I am a women and girls' rights activist, and I teach and preach based Christocracy. I teach and preach based Christocracy. Women and girls of the world, at this moment, there's something I want us to look into. And that thing that I want us to look into this moment is the issue of sex work amongst women. The issue of sex work amongst women. Now, what's brought my attention to this particular issue is the case of Hazel Makavanga. Hazel Makavanga of Zimbabwe. She was arrested by the police in Zimbabwe she's a sex worker. She's a sex worker and was arrested when she went to the house of one of her clients to steal. According to the news report, she stole some laptops and other valuables from her client, and thereafter she was arrested by the police. Now, I want us to talk about the issue of sex work. What makes people to go into sex work, or what makes women to go into sex work? When I researched about sex work before making this video, I discovered that the biggest or the greatest reason for which women involve themselves in sex work is economic desperation. Economic desperation. So, when you want to blame a woman for going into sex work, you have to be careful, because many men out there, they criticize girls, they criticize women, talking all manner of, bad things about women who engage in sex work without considering the economic reasons, the economic desperation that makes them to do this. So before you begin to talk about a woman who engages in sex work, first of all, ask the reason. Ask about the reason. Think about the reason. There is no smoke without fire. There is reason behind every sex work done by every sex work. There is a reason behind every sex work or every sex work profession. So now, what is the cause of women going into sex work? The cause of it is political irresponsibility. Political irresponsibility all over the world. World governments are not doing enough to take care of their people. If governments endeavor to provide free food, free clothing, free accommodations, free transportation, free power, and other free things, free basics to their people, the women and girls that go into prostitution will never do it. They will never go into sex work because their basic needs have been taken care of. But because the governments of the world have failed, the governments of the universe have failed, that's why we still have people going into sex work. That's why we still have women going into sex work, which dehumanizes them. So now, what I want to say is, before you begin to criticize a woman, ask her the reason for which she went into sex work. Women don't just go into sex work. They go because of reasons. So before you make any judgments, try to ask the reason for which a woman goes into sex work. So it is because our governments have failed. Governments all over the world have failed. That's why we still have sex work today. The government is responsible for taking care of the people. You feed your people. As a government, you should feed your people. But government is not feeding anybody. Actually, what they say is that everybody should take care of himself, which is irresponsibility. So governments have failed. That's why people go into sex work. So women and girls all over the world, so I want to advise you, I'm not advising you to go into sex work, but before you condemn a prostitute, before you condemn a sex worker, make sure that you ask why. Always ask why. Don't condemn. Don't prejudge. Always ask why. Why do these ladies go into sex work? Thank you very much. This is where I want to stop at the moment. Once again, I am Jesus Christ, and I teach and preach based Christocracy. Thank you.